Welcome back to Guitar Search Saturdays. My name's Shane. Guess where we are today? We're at Troll Music in Venice, Florida. That's right, we're over here for a little while and we wanted to drop into Troll Music because we ran into some of the folks from this store at the Sarasota Guitar Show, and they're a lovely bunch of guys. So thank you to Larry for showing us around on the inside. You get a personalized tour here of a guitar store that's also a full-blown music venue, and it's one of the best setups for live playing in the area here. So if you're a musician or you're just looking for a guitar amp or keyboard or whatever, they've got a whole bunch of really cool stuff in here, and we're gonna get out of the sun before I cook. It's stinking hot and humid, but it is summer in Florida, so that's what you get. All right, let's go in and check it out. Welcome to Troll Music, let's go in. Air conditioning's good.
Troll Music's broken into 3 or 4 main sections, including the retail store, there's lessons, there's also a really great live venue, and of course they do repairs. Troll Music's been in business for over 30 years, and the reason they ended up with the Troll Music name is because their original store was located under the Venice Avenue Bridge, thus the name of Troll Music. You'll find a great selection of affordable electric and acoustic guitars, including some really great amplifiers, which we'll cover. I think the amps at this particular store were the stars of the show. And of course, Larry. Well, let's kick things off in the retail store. So if we go in and turn left, they have a great selection of t-shirts. I really like this one. I think I'm going to buy it. So you'll see this coming up. Here's a beautiful old school Gibson. Check it out. Here's the official Troll guitar. You might have seen the logo already a few times. It's great to see a guitar in the shape of the logo with the ears and all that kind of thing. I dig it. Right next to that, we've got a Teisco. Now these are made in Japan, probably from the 1960s, just looking at this one. It's in mint condition. We've got some used effects pedals right next to the guitars, including this guy. This is a Blue Sky reverb pedal from Strymon. These are highly sought after. We've got a Boss DD20 digital delay. Here's a blast from the past. This is the Line 6 Pod. Let us know if you owned one of these. There's my tuner. We've got the Boss CS3, which is the compressor. But up here, we've got some pedals I'm unfamiliar with. This is the Starcaster Chorus. Looks like it's made by Fender. And a dual channel plexi pedal I'm unfamiliar with. This is the Nabla 1987 V2. It's made in Italy. We've got the Roland GR1 guitar synthesizer. It looks pretty old school. And wow, man, I reviewed one of these like 17 years ago. This is a Memory Man from EHX. I love these old enclosures. The build quality back then was great. Some of these guitars are new and some are used. This first one is a Tagima or Tagima LP style electric. We've seen these before, but it's great to see an LP style one instead of just a Strat or Tally. This is a Gretsch. Beautiful. First glance, I thought that this was another Tagima guitar, but it's made by Harmony. That's right, it's a Harmony guitar. This might go back quite a few years. It might be something from the 80s or 90s. Behind it is another Tagima, or Tagima, and you can see that we've got a different shape. This side is slightly different, and we've got more of a point here as opposed to the round side you'd find on a normal LP. So yeah, just a point of difference there. It looks pretty good. This is my first time seeing this brand. This is by a brand called Arbor. So yeah, sort of affordable, 400 bucks. Nice.
Now we've got some killer electric guitar amplifiers at Troll Music. Have a look at this. So starting with the Carr Rambler. And one of the things that really sort of separates this from a lot of amps is how musical the tremolo circuit is. It's got a great reverb.
You can change the amp from pento to triode mode down here, which changes the output level. So you can knock it down a bit if it's too loud.
There's a look at the speaker in the back. 60 watt speaker. Cool, man. Here's a really tidy amp. So get a chance to play one of these. Yeah, check them out. They're great.
All right, check this out. We've got a Peavey ValveKing VK212. Now, this is a 100 watt valve or tube amplifier, as they say in the US. And yeah, they like to say valve. So yeah, ValveKing, there you go. Surprised it's actually called that, not the Tube King. Anyway, so on this side of the amp, we've got our clean channel, lead channel, we've got a master output, and this dampening control, which is both resonance and presence. So you can kind of fine tune the low end and high end response of the amp a little bit further. You know, for what are they selling this one for? Probably cheap. What is it? $5.99. So you can get yourself a 100 watt tube amp for 600 bucks. It's a pretty great deal.
These little Laney VC30s are killer amplifiers. If you're someone who plays blues and you don't want to use any pedals and get a great sound, it's loaded with two 10-inch speakers. And man, they sound unreal. But this particular one with the 2x10s kills if you're a blues player. You don't need any pedals. You can run them hot and loud, and they just respond beautifully. You get some really great interaction, and I had the 2x12 version of this, and I later found out that this one with the 210s, I much prefer it. It's not only lighter, but yeah, the tones are really quite special, and yeah, they're great amps. You don't often see them around anymore, and this is the great thing about a guitar store that has lots of used amps. You never know what you're going to get. It's great.
All right, let's take a look at some of these amplifiers, and these are all used, by the way. This is the Fender Twin Reverb amp. It's a 1965 black panel amp, and it gives you 100 watts of power. So yeah, devastatingly loud. Now on the left-hand side of the amp, we've got our normal channel. We've got our vibrato channel, which is kind of the star of the show because it ties into the reverb and trem. Just a great sounding clean tone. If you're into cleans and you need 100 watts, like a high headroom amp, these are awesome. All right, here's an amp I didn't expect to see. This is the Magnatone Twilighter. Now there's a few things going on with this, but just know this is a boutique amplifier, so these aren't cheap. Kind of made famous by Billy Gibbons. Take a look at the price up here. How much is it? It's $4,000. So it's a 22 watt amplifier, and it gives you a tube driven spring reverb and this really wonderful pitch shifting stereo vibrato. And the vibrato on this is just going to kill, you know, stuff like the Fender circuit, for example. It's in a whole different league, but yeah, quite expensive, but definitely worth checking out if you're in the market for something different. Hey, we've got a Roland Blues Cube, and what is this one? This one is the Roland Blues Cube Stage. Now, these are really underrated amplifiers. You know, everyone talks about the katanas. I would rather play a Blues Cube. You know, there's none of that digital stuff. You just plug in, you can use your pedals, and it's going to sound really nice. Now, there's a few things that kind of separate this from a lot of other solid state amplifiers, and I think the star of the show here is the fact that you can change the power output. So if you want to play at home, you've got 0.5 watts, and then you can crank it all the way up to maximum, which I think is like 50 watts or something. I can't remember, but this really gives you everything you need. You got your two channels, you can blend the channels and all that kind of stuff, but I just love plugging into the clean and then running pedals into it. I think it's a really good platform.
All right, now if you're looking to peel the paint off the walls at a rock and roll gig, check this out. This is the DSL 40C. This is the one prior to the one that I've got. I've got the CR at home, and this is the one prior to it. It gives you pretty much the same type of setup. You can see that we've got our clean and crunch on this side. You can change the channels. You've got two lead tones over here. Got the EQ, presence, resonance, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, another really great amp. You know, you can mod the speaker out to get a completely different sound and make it sound, you know, the way that you like, which is what I did. I put a Eminence Texas Heat in mine, and it sort of fattened out the low end and took off a bit of the top end bite, which is exactly what I was looking for. But yeah, this was the one, again, prior to the one that I've got, the one that you've seen on the channel, and yeah, it's great to see these, you know, still kicking around.
Here we have a Carvin X100B all-tube amplifier head covered in, yes, carpet shag. Not only do we get an EQ system on the side, the regular controls are all active, so you can really scoop and change your sound however you like. This Carvin amplifier's claim to fame is that it was used on the Steve Vai recording of Blue Powder. If you don't know that song, go check it out. It's got some really great rock tones. If I could shred, I'd give it a go.
I didn't see this just before, but this is an Epiphone Casino. So the magic combination I was talking about with the Laney amplifier is with one of these. P90 pickups, great sustain. They are basically a hollow Archtop electric, but man, this is the combination for blues that I think is still one of the best memories I've ever heard as a live player. One of my good friends had this combination, and it was really special. I gotta say too, I really like this sort of matte finish on the guitar. It's very different. It's not like, you know, my ES335, my cherry red one, one of the only colors you can get in a lefty is high gloss, and I really like what they've done here. These pickups are really quite nice, and yeah, it's got a fairly slim neck here, but overall, yeah, plug this into the Laney if you live locally, you'll be impressed. Here's a guitar I'm not overly familiar with, but I've seen these in person. Being a lefty, I haven't had a chance to play one of these, but this is an Ibanez AS53. It's a 335 style electric guitar with this beautiful sort of almost violin finish. It's got the satin, you know, sunburst style finish on it. Two controls, which I can appreciate. I like one volume, one tone, three-way toggle. And I think that's almost all you need when it comes to a 335. You don't necessarily always need to be working both volumes. Some people will disagree, but I'm either on bridge or neck most of the time, and yeah, I just think this really simplifies the whole thing. It's nice and light too. I'm actually really impressed how light this is. This is Larry from Troll Music. Thanks for having us through.
Absolutely,
I appreciate it. It's a great store, great venue in here as well, and I thought if you wouldn't mind just showing us around, show the folks a little bit about it.
Not at all.
Oh, awesome.
Come on through.
All right, after you.
We have this performance room, and we have shows. We have an on-season and off-season due to being a resort town.
Yep.
When it's on-season, we're usually putting about 4 shows a week on, you know, Thursday through Sunday. This time of year, when a lot of our snowbirds have went back north, we resort to a once a week or twice a week type show. Cool. We do live stream our shows. This past Saturday, we had 90 people in-house, and we had 40 online watching.
Yeah, that's great.
And so...
I'll link to the YouTube channel on screen as well, so you can check it out and subscribe.
Yeah. We get a number of groups from Nashville. The owner has traveled there a lot. He meets people. Hey, when you're going to go on the road next time and you'll like a little quieter opener place. So we tend to get some really wonderful acts in at times.
Yeah, great.
We have a recording studio about 15 miles down the road, so the fellow that runs that, sound engineer, he comes up and does the shows. About the only thing he has to say is if your drummer maintains his volume, we will make you sound good.
It's always a challenge with drummers.
If you look in the back and I'm not there, it's because I can't do anything because you're too loud.
It's either the guitarists or the drummers that are too loud.
Most of the time, the guitar players we have piped through the system,
yeah,
so we can control them a bit. It's the drummer we have a hard time controlling, you know.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, this is great. It's great to see like an in-house venue, so you're not only doing the gear side of it, but you're supporting the musicians.
We have
too.
an actual announcer, and he tries to promote other things in the area with giving you a website that will show you everything that's going on from Fort Myers south of us up to Tampa.
Oh, yeah.
So we're trying to promote music in general. Yeah. So in the back here, we have 7 classrooms, and 3 of them have pianos in them, so we can teach. I'd say piano and guitar are the main ones people are looking for, but we get a fair amount of violin and mandolin and stuff like that also.
You're also the repair guy, right?
I am the repair guy. That's my main job here. I try not to do sales, although I get myself involved at times. But myself and 2 other fellows back here, we do everything from total refrets, repositioning necks, to changing pickups, to pretty much what anybody needs. But in-house, we stay with stringed instruments. Great. I'll do harps, we'll do mandolins, dulcimers, pretty much anything with strings. Unfortunately, we did just come back from a guitar show, so it sort of looked like things exploded back here.
Yeah, you're having us in right after the show finished too.
Yeah, I mean,
it's great.
Normally it's not the cleanest spot in town because we're working, but normally it's not this bad either.
I got to say, I love the color scheme.
That
great.
Is something that has
sort of happy. You walk in, you feel good.
When we were first looking for a toolbox, I had seen it, and the color I knew was right along our lines. So we've since tried to add more of them to try to. As I get older, I've been training some new fellas, and I want them to be able to find stuff. Now, before I could find stuff because I knew where I put it. But we're trying to make it so that pretty much anybody that walks in would be able to do it, and we try to continue to buy new products that come out. Like there's one now that you can clamp on the neck and go along touching the strings, and it's reading out through a computer, and then we'll give you a graph of the layout of the whole neck for really setting the guitar up properly.
Well, it's like 3D mapping or something.
It is.
Okay.
It's like they have the machine now called the PLEK machine. It sort of allows you to manually plex, let's say, by knowing what points aren't the way they should be. We don't have the room to have everything we'd like, a paint booth or anything like that, but I think in general we're able to handle pretty much any
this is great.
supply of things that come in.
Larry, thank you. Thanks so much. Thanks for having us and showing us around. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I appreciate it. My favorite guitar? I think I've got one. Let's take a look and then we'll showcase yours. It has to be this. I think an Epiphone's all you need. Sort of as a live player these days, you can get yourself a great guitar. And this is an Epiphone Casino. Great pickups, just great finish. If this was a lefty, I'd be in trouble. It's light enough to travel with. I walk out with this in the Laney and I'd have like the best blues rig. It'd be all I need as a live player. Forget all the pedals, plug this into that, and you'd be rocking out.
My favorite?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. This is a bit of a surprise just due to color.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
Tagima.
What do you like about this?
I dig this in the body. Actually, let me lift it up. Oh boy, it's heavy. Okay. This, we'll call it fading.
Yep.
This ombre situation. And I understand what this is.
Yeah.
So that's a perk. Good. It's quite heavy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the neck's very comfortable.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's actually a great colour.
Something blue.
That wraps up another Guitar Search Saturdays. Troll Music was a whole lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's always good seeing a shop that carries new and used equipment at various price points. They've got a good mix of stuff, but I think having a live music venue in-house is amazing. Thank you to Larry for showing us around. He's a lovely guy. He's obviously the tech to go to if you're in Venice or in the surrounding suburbs. He really knows his stuff and everyone speaks highly of him. So Troll Music, there it is. If you want to support the show, I've got some new Guitar Search Saturdays t-shirts that I designed right here. And I send you a personalized thank you video message if you do decide to buy one, and I'll link them in the description or on screen if I can. So yeah, thank you again for all your support. The series isn't sponsored, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, it's a beautiful weather here. I love it. It's so nice. Anyway, I'll catch you soon. See ya.